Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it's time for me to bring you episode number 3, I do believe, of Season 3 of our Leicester City career mode here on FIFA 16. Now last time out we had a fairly disappointing episode in comparison to the usual, but of course we did get some major transfer activity done. We lost in the Community Shield, well, not the final, the Community Shield against Arsenal, and we also had a pretty disappointing draw against Newcastle in the league. But of course, apart from that, is the transfer window, and we are on the verge of making a major signing, and over 100 of you guys voted on the vote, which is absolutely mad to have like 130 odd people still voting on straw polls at this point in the series is absolutely mad, and all 130 plus of you decided that Nabil Fekir was not the man who should be replacing Wissam Ben Yedder, nor was Kevin Volland of Wolfsburg. So you guys decided that it was down to Paulo Dybala from Juventus and Angel Correa of Atletico Madrid. Not a bad choice, it has to be said, Dybala being £30 million plus Shinji Okazaki and Correa being £17.5 million, but in the end it was Dybala who got the nod, and by some distance, I think about 80 plus people voting for Dybala, almost 90 or so. That's about like 3/4 of people wanted me to sign this Argentinian Dybala from Juventus, the 83 overall 23-year-old. Their confirmation that the new signing is arriving, and what a signing. Surely he is going to be our best overall player, as you can see by his attributes on the screen, and he surely is going to hit the ground running. He's better than Ben Yedder outright, and he only cost £9 million more than we got for Ben Yedder, so really decent investment. Thank you guys so much for voting on that, and let's hope that Dybala does the job, and he'll be making his debut in the Copa Europe. Obviously this is basically the Community Shield of Europe. We won the Champions League in that final against United, and Internazionale, or Inter Milan of the Serie A, won the Europa League, or the equivalent, on this game. So in the Copa Europe, it's Leicester versus Inter Milan, and Paulo Dybala is making his debut. Can he have some sort of influence on this game? There you can see the rest of the squad in the background. Schmeichel in goal, Perez, Wimmer coming into the side for Rudiger, who's looked a little shaky since joining, but maybe that's just new club nerves. Kante, Arnold, Mahrez, Herman, Dybala and Vardy make up the rest of the starting lineup, so Vardy gets the nod over Brialdol and Bolo. Inter Milan, they're going forward here with Icardi, finding Jovetic, then Kondogbia, and our bad run of form continues. We didn't score at all last episode, gameplay-wise, and the CPU scored against us again. This time it's Inter Milan, it's Jeffrey Kondogbia. It's a lovely finish past Kasper Schmeichel at the near post. Maybe he'll be disappointed he's been beaten there, but we're not going to take this line down. Jamie Vardy finding Paulo Dybala, forced to save out of Handanovic, but the referee gives offside before Dybala even puts the ball into the net. The linesman clearly putting his flag up, but this is looking promising. We've reacted very well to going behind, and Patrick Herman hitting the post there with that curling effort. Herman again trying to make things happen here down the left-hand side. He sees Arnold with the on-rushing run. He forces the save out of Handanovic. It'll fall for Jamie Vardy, who surely scores, and he does indeed. Jamie Vardy with the goal to equalise. It's yet another rebound goal. He has time to chest it down and then just slot the ball into the empty net. Handanovic on the floor. Nothing the Slovenian goalkeeper can do, and it is 1-1, but Inter going forward again, this time with Icardi, and Nkulu does enough to put the Argentinian striker off the shot. Now into the second half, Dybala finding Kante on rushing, and somehow Kante misses the target from there. That was a glorious opportunity for the Frenchman, but we're going forward again. Patrick Herman seeing Jamie Vardy running in front of him. He cuts past Gary Medel. He sees Dybala in the centre. He fires it in towards him. It's great control, and Paulo Dybala scores his first goal for the club on his debut in the Copa Europe to give us the lead here against Inter Milan, a club he obviously knows, having come from Juventus in the Serie A. He's played them quite a few times, I would imagine, since this save began, and he's now scored against them here in the Copa Europe to give us a 2-1 lead on the hour mark. Dybala finding Kante. Kante with a lovely chip over the top through ball back to Dybala, and he forces a save out of Handanovic. Our new Argentinian striker is certainly getting into the game now. Kante going forward again though, finding Mahrez on his right foot, and he hits the woodwork as well, like Patrick Herman did earlier, and we are absolutely dominating. Maxi Arnold with a speculative effort from outside the area and almost looping over Handanovic, but for some reason we're still dedicating men forward. Icardi thankfully doesn't have too much pace, but he's bursting away. He sees Juan Jesus there at the near post. Thankfully Kasper Schmeichel is able to save the day with only 6 minutes of the game to go. That could have been disastrous, but as you can see, at the end of the game, it does end 2-1. Jamie Vardy and our new striker, the £30 million man, Paulo Dybala, gets us the win here in the Copa Europe. It's another piece of silverware, our 4th trophy to add to this very this very busy looking Leicester trophy cabinet now. Of course, obviously Dybala joining us, Shinji Okazaki going in the opposite direction. Hopefully he's had as good a debut as Dybala has, but as you can see, thanks to his goal, we are lifting the Copa Europe trophy, having beaten Inter Milan, the Europa League winners, the Champions League winners though ourselves. We do come out on top. Nicholas and Kulu lifting the trophy and celebrating with the Leicester fans who have clearly travelled some distance. I don't know what stadium we're at, but it's definitely not an English one. And the Leicester travelling faithful doing a very good job in supporting their men. And as you can see, their men have done the business, and we've won another piece of silverware. And Jamie Vardy gets man of the match with an 8.1 rating. Good ratings as well there for Herman and also for Dybala, of course, who scored the winning goal. We get £1.4 million as well for that trophy win added to the transfer budget. Not that we particularly need it. Sorry, we've splashed out £30 million on Paulo Dybala, and already we've still got a very healthy transfer budget, but that will go nicely in the trophy cabinet, will the Copa Europe trophy. Nevertheless, it's now time to move on to Barclays Premier League engagements. It's the second BPL game of the season. After a 0-0 draw against Newcastle, we'll be looking for a much less mediocre second game of the season than was the first game. We're against Swansea at the King Power Stadium, a fairly unchanged squad in comparison to the one that you saw a moment ago. Apart from Mbola replaces Vardy, Tarajai is in for Herman, and also Rudiger is back into the side to replace Kevin Wimmer. After just 2 minutes though, Riyad Mahrez is swinging the ball to the outside of the area for Maxi Arnold, who hits it on his right foot and forces a very good save out of the Swansea goalkeeper Remy Roux. On his weak foot, still producing a very good shot. Shani Tarajai now from the other side, from the resulting corner, sees Maxi Arnold on the edge of the area again, and what a goal that is from the German central midfielder. It's the Maxi Arnold special. We've seen him do this on so many occasions already. Tarajai swings it to the edge of the area, and on the edge of the area, Maxi Arnold finds the back of the net, and after just 3 minutes, we are 1-0 up. A much better start to proceedings here in the Barclays Premier League in comparison to our first game of the season, but the ball in from the corner, and Kasper Schmeichel has had an absolute mare, the smallest man on the pitch, someone we know very well from Season 1, Nathan Dyer, who helped us to a Capital One Cup glory as a Leicester player in Season 1. Thankfully didn't celebrate against us, that was very nice of him, but he has scored, the smallest kid on the pitch. And Kasper Schmeichel's been beaten in the air by him. It's shocking from him. It's shocking from Mbola, who should have put us 2-1 up in the 24th minute. It's a shocking piece of finishing. I feel as if I've said shocking quite a lot, but it pretty much sums up our last few minutes in this game. But Swansea now, already, after just 35 minutes, have just parked the bus. That's it. They have no intentions of going forward whatsoever. They're going to try and kill this game off at whatever cost. They are going forward, though, into the second half. Sigurdsson finding John Joe Shelvey. Somehow managed to dig the shot from under his feet, but he hits the crossbar, unfortunately, for him. And at the end of the game, it's looking pretty desperate for ourselves. Unfortunately, a mistake, an absolute howler from Kasper Schmeichel has cost us in this game. I didn't call for him to come out, but when I saw that he was coming out himself, I was like, well, you know, he's clearly going to get that, and he completely missed it. A bit of a shambles. Maxi Arnold does get man of the match. Good rating as well for N'Golo Kante, but unfortunately, a bad mistake for our goalkeeper costing us there, and still yet to get off the mark in terms of a win in the Barclays Premier League. But at least we do have some silverware from this season already. That's a bit of a positive, and we'll see a third game of today's episode in a little bit. In the background, though, you're seeing some transfer activity. We've loaned out 2 youngsters, Jonas Jensen and also Hamza Chowdhury, the hero of Season 1. Hasn't really done much since then, unfortunately for him, as his potential has gone a little bit to waste. So he's going out on loan to Sheffield United, and also rejecting offers from Real Madrid and Aston Villa respectively for Luka Zahovic and N'Golo Kante. But now it's time to get into the final game of today's episode, and it's at Goodison Park against somewhat of a bogey team in the shape of Everton. They are a very tricky team to play, on this game, and we're away from home against them. As you can see, this is the squad as we go into this as visitors. Wimmer, Schlupp, Amati, and also Vardy back into the side for this game. So 4 changes for this one. But Everton going forward, as you would expect, as the home side, and Darren Gibson forcing a good save out of Kasper Schmeichel, will be looking to bounce back after that pretty poor mistake against Swansea in the last BPL game. We go forward, though, now into the 14th minute. Daniel Amati finding Riyad Mahrez, and he forces the save out of Joel Robles, and it hits the post. Fantastic play from the goalkeeper there of Everton. But now we're going forward again. Riyad Mahrez it is once again. Just 2 minutes later, he cuts inside onto his favoured left foot, and he finds the back of the net. This time he was denied by a combination of Joel Robles and the woodwork, but this time he finds the back of the net and punches the corner flag, and it's Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez combining. Now, Jamie Vardy's already scored this episode, and Riyad Mahrez has scored again. It says a lot that we're now into the third season, and these two, who are key players at Leicester Originals in real life, are still doing a fantastic job in this save as well. But we're coming under some threat here from Everton. Jeffrey Schlupp has completely messed up the clearance, but Kevin Morales has punished him for it. Yet again, it's poor goalkeeping aerially from Kasper Schmeichel. He's flapped at it. It's fallen to Jeffrey Schlupp, and he's just completely missed the ball. I don't quite understand what he's done, but the EABS from last episode is striking us again. It is a wonderful finish, though, from the Belgian winger, Kevin Morales, but really capitalising on some shocking goalkeeping from the corner coming in, and Jeffrey Schlupp just completely missing the ball. We'll be looking, though, for an instant reply, and Riyad Mahrez has found an on-rushing Bruno Perez down the right-hand side, engaging now into the opposition area. He finds Jamie Vardy, who blasts the ball into the back of the net, and just 1 minute after Everton equalised, we have taken the lead back again, and it's this man, Jamie Vardy. He scored in the Copa Europe. Riyad Mahrez has scored in this game, and then Jamie Vardy scored again. The Leicester Originals are still the main men in this squad. It's a Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez masterclass in today's episode, and Jamie Vardy is outpacing Phil Jagielka again just 3 minutes later. Can we make it 3-1? It's 1-on-1, but no, we cannot. Joel Robles with the save from Jamie Vardy's pretty weak effort, but now Lukaku going forward, the opposite issue for him. Too much power on the shot, and it goes high and wide. A glaring opportunity there for Everton. Max Arnold going for another long shot, but it's a great save one-handed by Joel Robles. We're putting on the pressure, though, again. Bruno Perez with a lofted through ball over the top for Riyad Mahrez. He's been massively influential already in this game. He's cutting inside past Leighton Baines, then past the Everton defender Funes Mori, and he slots the ball in. A wonderful solo goal. Riyad Mahrez and Jamie Vardy have turned up today, and in what fashion. It is 3-1. A 2-goal lead is now established in this game, and we've won the ball back in the 84th minute. Jamie Vardy again. He's got Mbolo for support, but we're not going to square it. Jamie Vardy looking for the second goal, but unfortunately is unable to get it. In reality, I probably should have tramped it, and Mbolo would have had a goal having come off the bench for Dybala. But as you can see, Riyad Mahrez with 2 goals in that game, Vardy with 2 goals in this episode, and those two have been absolutely fantastic in this one. The Leicester Originals coming into play. N'Golo Kante's been okay this episode. Drinkwater's featured a little bit, but Mahrez and Vardy, absolutely fantastic. Obviously, they are the main men in real life, but they're doing a job in this save as well. And as you can see in the background, Briel Donald Mbolo's doing a job as well. He's gone up to 82 overall, which is nice to see from 81. He was obviously very close. He went up on his attack position and short passing, and now we're trying to get Shani Tarajai up, and indeed he will hopefully go up on his long passing, and he does. But yeah, Briel Donald Mbolo up to 82 overall, which is lovely to see. We've now got an 83 and 82 overall striker, and Jamie Vardy, who's in fantastic form himself, as well as Luka Zahovic. And when you compare that with Riyad Mahrez, Patrick Herrmann, it's looking pretty decent. Not the greatest start to the BPL season, though, for ourselves. Undefeated, but 2 draws and a win is not exactly what we'd be hoping for, but it's not too bad, and it sees us sitting 6th in the league, with Chelsea actually on top from Bournemouth, Spurs and Arsenal, and then West Ham in 5th. So a very London feel to the top of the Barclays Premier League table at the moment. But a fairly decent episode today. 2 wins and a draw, 1 in Europe, 1 in the BPL, and then a draw against Swansea as well. If you have enjoyed today's episode, though, of Career Mode, feel free to hit the likes button, subscribe if you're new around here as well, and comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much. Thank you guys once again for the support on this series, especially when it comes to voting. That is really massively appreciated. Of course, seeing this series now past 50 episodes, it's just completely down to you guys, so thank you guys so much for that. And if you want to follow me on Twitter so that you know when I'm uploading videos in the future and just keep up to date with what I'm doing, you can feel free to do that. The link to my Twitter account will be in the description below. Approaching 1,000 followers, so that'd be pretty mad if we could get there. Nevertheless, it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
No, that's not me. Act like a waste man, that's not